Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on Let's Get Loud. If this is your first time joining us, I just want to say thank you so much for making Let's Get Loud your channel of choice. This evening, we have a new series starting, and it's called Finding Peace After Divorce. You will be hearing the story of 40-year-old banking professional Naresa Peart. She was born in the Cayman Islands and went to Jamaica when she was 5 years old to attend school. She returned to the Cayman Islands when she was 19 years old. She's a committed Christian, one who gave her life to the Lord at age 15, and I must say she is still committed. She lends herself to the kids ministry at the Frank Sound Church of God Chapel in the Cayman Islands. Naresa got married in 2008 and found herself separated in 2014 and finally divorced in 2018. She was forced to start life all over again, but this time she had two cheerleaders, Nate and Zoe. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to Let's Get Loud, Naresa Peart. Naresa.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hi. Thank you so much.
It is a pleasure being here.
Oh
gosh. I'm a little nervous, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Oh, Naresa, it's so good to see you and for you to agree to share your story with us. And speaking of story, let's just go back to the beginning. How your story started. How you found yourself married. Naresa, married. Yes. I remember I was totally shocked when Naresa said, I'm getting married.
I know, because then we were working together. I know, right? And it was like, wow, married, yes. But it was a very exciting time, and I've reconnected with my now ex-husband. Right. Then was my high school boyfriend. And we got married. It was beautiful. Very beautiful, with family, friends. Very, very, very beautiful. And then we returned to Cayman afterwards. So, and started life there. So, at the time we were attending my church, which is still Frank Sound. And started working in kids ministry. Awesome period going on. And as the years go along, the marriage started becoming an unhappy marriage.
Why? What contributed to that? You don't have to go into detail.
Yeah, I think we were both young.
How old were you again?
When we got married, I was like, what, 28?
Yeah.
28. Yeah. So we were both young. He was starting his career. Right. I was halfway through what I was working on in banking. Right. And I think life happened. And I think one of the things as young people is that we are not prepared to deal with life and marriage. Because I think we as individuals, we're so awesome at saying, okay, we're so nice to everybody on the road.
Right.
And you go home and you're like so horrible to the people you live with. And you're like, okay, what happened here? Yes. But honestly, it was an experience. I am thankful for it. Yes. And as we say, I have two beautiful children, which honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change it. But these kids, my kids, they drive me crazy sometimes, but I love them to pieces. Yes, they are my sunshines. Yes. They are my sunshines. So in the midst of everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, God was always present and still is present. So we can hold on to that.
Because you found yourself, speaking of the kids, Zoe was less than a year old when you found yourself separated.
Yes.
And how did you come to terms with that, having to be a single mom with a baby? And Nate, who was only 4 years old, right?
It was honestly, it was very challenging because one of the reasons I even got married later or late compared to when we get married and came on
28 is late.
At 28, I am like, because I saw so many of my friends going through such a hard time. I'm always the designated babysitter anyhow. So being there, I was like, it was something I didn't want for myself. Wow. One of the things I did not want to be was a single mom. I was like, no, I saw how hard it was for them. I saw them struggling to make ends meet. I saw so many things that I didn't want for myself.
Wow, things like what?
In terms of the back and forth with the kids. I didn't want to put my kids through that. In some situations, the fathers weren't present at all. And trying to explain to a child, or even working in kids ministry, explaining to them, I see how happy they are on Mother's Day and Father's Day seems to be not one of the happy days. Wow. But in the midst of it all, as I said, God is always faithful. Always faithful. He's faithful. Always faithful. I'm faithful.
So if you could just describe your emotion, how did you wrap your head around being single? Not seeing what your friends went through, and now you are literally going to go through it. How did you come to terms with that? What did you do to find that peace to center yourself?
Honestly, God. Because the day I decided that this was it, and as I've always said to my ex-husband, I'll give you all the chances in the world, because the day I walk, I wasn't going to look back. So even when half my friends were like, I can't believe you're still married. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But because nobody's perfect.
Right.
I had my issues. Right. He has his issues. Everybody brought something to the table. Yeah. And that day, I was like, okay, God, this is it. This is it. I've fasted, I've done all the things that I think I should do, and honestly, I loved my children too much to remain in that environment.
You don't hear that too often. You loved your children too much, because we find that a lot of people, they stay because of the children. But now you're saying that you love your children.
I loved my children too much. And because I guess working in kids ministry has opened my eyes to so many things. And I found I could tell when the kids were excited to go home and not excited. And I'm not talking like, okay, there's extra candies and extra things at church, so they don't want to go home. It's more along the lines where they are terrified of what they will encounter when they get home. So because of that, I wanted my kids to be in a happy home. And even if their dad and I didn't get it right, they should at least experience a happy home. Oh, wow. Yes.
I like that. I hope that a lot of people will start thinking that way.
Yeah, because the thing is, what we don't understand is we live what we experience. We become what we experience. And as much as you may find somebody says, oh, my dad drank, I'll never drink. And you see like people growing up and start drinking and doing all these things, and they're like, I said I would never do it.
Right.
But unless God creates an avenue or creates a way of escape from that generation curse, you will do whatever the curse is. And it's only with him that you can get through that. And because of that, I said, no, it wasn't an option for me.
So when you said a generational curse, because I know when I found myself in a similar situation, that I thought divorce, that could become a generational curse. What do you think about that for your kids?
Honestly, I have prayed about it. I have thought that, okay, is this something that I want my children to experience? And honestly, no, I don't want to force for anyone.
Right.
Anyone. But I have to look at it as I provide an environment that they will appreciate their partners when they get married. And if from this age I'm saying to my son, okay, your sister got out the room, she's wearing something nice. Say, Zoe, you look beautiful today. And he's like, Mommy, I'm like, oh, say, Zoe, you look beautiful today. And he'll say it, and I'll say, Zoe, tell Nick he looks handsome today. So we have to create the environment that fosters love. Wow. Because in the midst of love, hate cannot flourish. Oh, wow. That's deep. That's very deep. Yeah. In the midst of love, hate cannot flourish. They can't. Wow. I know Zoe and Nate, oh boy, they're a trip. Oh gosh. But you know, I'm just so thankful though that you made that decision for your kids not to stay as many mothers or fathers do, because fathers do find themselves in that position as well. You know, we all think that only mothers or women do, but fathers do find themselves in that position as well. But I'm thankful that you have brought a different spin to why you left for the sake of your kids, not to be in that environment. And how would you say your kids are adjusting to being in two different environments? Honestly, it is challenging. What about in terms of, okay, remembering, okay, today's the day I go to my dad, or this is my dad's weekend. But I think one of the things about it is I know their dad and I, if we've gotten anything from this, is that we value our time with our children. Wow. And like, if I know it's my weekend, okay, what am I going to do with these kids this weekend? And I try to create an environment where we do something fun. Nate is Minister of Activities. Minister of Activities. Oh, Lord. And he'll come up with an idea and we'll do something, but you cherish the moment. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be something like going to the beach. It can be like, okay, playing dominoes, which Zoe beats us all the time. No kidding. I'm serious. Seriously. Interesting. So, you know, you have to learn if it means jumping on a trampoline. I saw them the other day doing that. You know, you have to create the moments. And I think a lot of people, what we don't understand is that you may have a family and a husband and wife is present. And I've said to my married friends as well that please create moments with your children. Because 9 out of 10 times when you have a married couple, it's the wife who is up and down doing all these things. And sometimes the dad miss out on the moments. So I think if anything, it has forced us. It's not the ideal situation, but it has forced us to appreciate the moments. Yes. Wow. So it's challenging, but they come back and I'm like, how's your weekend with your dad? Right. Oh, we had fun. We did this. And that's what I want. So is Nate still the director of activities with that too? And his dad, I'm not sure who is, but yeah. So they have fun. Sometimes they go through their moments. Yeah. What moments? Like the moments where like, okay, I don't want to go this week. Really? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, come on, remember, you're going to have a good time at your dad. And then they're like, okay. And then they come back with something fun. And I'm like, see, you had fun. Right. Or they're like, Mommy, I want to go with my dad today. And I'm like, well, it's not really your dad's day. It's Mommy's day. Right. So, you know, but you can give your dad a call. We can, you know, you have to create a way that it's easier on them, because I think most of the time we look at life through adult eyes, not really through kids' eyes. So we have to think of them. We have to create opportunities where they can feel comfortable, or if something is going on, um, and I'll say, okay, ask your dad, and your dad says, okay, can you take them? We have to get, and I'm thankful that we've gotten to that place. It wasn't like this all the way. It wasn't at all. But they're not my children alone. They're not their dad's children alone. First and foremost, they're God's children. Right. So yeah,
you have to take care. Well, you mentioned a while ago, like when they would say, I want to go to my dad today. How does that make you feel when they say that, knowing that, oh my God, no, how do I handle this? And what's going through their minds, their little minds? Why do they want to go to dad today? And is that available for them today?
Well, the thing is, sometimes initially, honestly, I used to be like, what? Am I chopped liver? Well, what's the story? But, don't think because the kids want to spend time with their dad, it means they love you any less. Yes. It's not the case. It's just that they want their dad. Right. And I know there are times they may be at their dad and they're like, I want my mommy. So it goes both ways. Yes. It goes both ways. Yes. They're kids and it is challenging. But at the same time, it is important that we realize that it's not the best process. But we make the best of the process. Ooh, it's not the best process. But we make the best of it. But we make the best of it. Yes. Oh, that's key. Yes. That's very key. Yes. And I know this weekend is one of the weekends that they're with their dad. Yes. And tell me, I'm curious, because of course I've never been in this situation. When you're with their dad and if they call you per se to just say hi, or do they call you to say hi? How does it work? Sometimes they call me. Sometimes they totally forget about me. That's what I'm wondering, right? Sometimes they totally forget about me. But I try to use the time to rejuvenate. Okay. Because when I have my kids, I have my kids. So you have to learn, and it's part of learning to take care of yourself. Ooh, self-care. Self-care. So if I don't have them, or if I try my best, try to do something with my friends, I'm gonna use Netflix Prime. I'll do series. I'll go to church, prep for kids' church. Right. I will use the time wisely. Because the minute they walk through that door, mommy's hat is 24/7 on. And if they call me, which is not the case, mommy, where is my password for this? Well, it's my job to figure it out and help them. All right. But I really do like what you said. It's not the best process, but we have to make the best use of the process. And with that, Naresa, I just want to end right here and just to let all that you have shared just sink in, to know that you made the decision to remove yourself from the environment for the sake of your children. Yes. Yes. Because that is so key. Because a lot of people stay in the environment just for the kids. And like you said, the kids become a product of their environment, and eventually they become what they learned in that environment. Yes, so I just want to say thank you for making that decision on behalf of all the children whose mothers made the decision to remove them from an environment that is not healthy. Yes. In order to give them an environment where it's functional, where they can experience love, where Nate can say, so you look beautiful. Yes. Through gritted teeth sometimes, I'm sure. And Zoe, of course, complimenting her brother. Yes, definitely. Thank you again for making it Let's Get Loud, and thank you so much for sharing that aspect of your story. We'll pick up in the next series or next week and talk more about your life and how you transitioned. I know the process wasn't easy, so we'll just go through that and then share from where you were to where you are.
So ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in. And until next week, we'll say take good care of yourself. And remember, the process you're going through may not be the best process, but you have to make the best use of the process. Have a good evening.